Did you know that Justin and I had a puppet show during the pandemic?
That is not something I knew.
We talk about that periodically. There were 4 episodes. And I was the friendly children's minister.
They gotta be on YouTube.
And Justin was the voice of the puppet who was Barnacle Bart.
Barnacle Bart.
And Justin would be like, "Arg!"
I think it was great. I think it was high quality is what I think.
He would do an entire pirate voice. "Arg, mateys!" And
the funny thing about that was we wanted it to be a write-in show where the kids wrote in, but we never asked kids to write in, so we just made up questions. And a lot of times Jennifer would make up on the spot. She's like, "So-and-so from this place says, how do I know if God is talking to me? Great question, so-and-so." No one
Dear
ever
Barnacle Bart.
No one ever asked a question.
And then
so he would answer.
Justin would give some really deep theological answers as Barnacle Bart, the pirate puppet. But we had a ball. And then I found out later that a lot of our views came because they slowed it down, and Barnacle Bart seemed like he was under the influence, and they thought that was really funny. But it was right. Somebody brought that up today. I was like, Barnacle Bart.
Someone brought up Barnacle Bart today.
Yes, Christy Arman brought him up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then they wanted to know, where is Barnacle Bart? Is he still alive? And I was like, in Justin's heart. And they go, no, like the puppet.
Here's the deal. He's either in a box in my garage or he's in the dumpster, because what happened was when I moved out of Bel Air, I had all these boxes and I took some of them out, and then Jean came in on a week when I wasn't there, and he thought I was done. He just threw everything else away.
Oh.
I was like, Jean.
No.
So I couldn't remember quite what was in those boxes. So Barnacle Bart may be in a landfill.
Oh.
If he's not, he's in my garage in a box. I'll have to check.
Did you find this puppet on Amazon, or did you?
Listen, I've got a full video of me being Barnacle Bart in Las Vegas. We bought him in Las Vegas on a family trip, me and my dad and my brother and my stepmom.
Oh.
And I would hang him out of the window on the strip of the like driving, and I would yell out and talk to people on the strip. That's Barnacle Bart.
Were you sharing the gospel, Justin?
No, I didn't work up. I didn't work up to that.
I don't work a whole presentation.
But we had a lot of fun, and I'll have to find the video and send it to you.
Can you put together, what did he look like?
He had a blue and white striped shirt. He had an eye patch. He was very Sesame Street.
It's very classic.
Very Sesame Street.
Pirate from a children's show.
And the voice was just from Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob. Like I just took it straight.
Okay.
So I totally took it.
It was really good. Well,
but,
I guess.
That's a lot about a puppet.
I think it's a good time to start the show.
Talking about a puppet. Yes, I think it's a great time to start.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Kellough. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. Please stay with us today. We're all in different chairs, and I know that's going to be really disconcerting, but hang with us. It's going to be a great show. We have Ashley. She's agreed to come back. Her contract isn't up yet, and we have Justin here as well, so let's check in. Ashley, how are you doing?
Hey, girl.
You guys had a big night last night.
Yes, we did. Friendsgiving, one of our biggest events.
It is huge. Yes. I don't think Kaylee realized
how big it was.
How big of an event this is.
Yeah, I don't even know where they all come from.
Can you tell us? Okay, so it's a potluck, and certain grades bring different things. Can you tell us what were 2 standout potluck things that people brought that you were like, yeah, that's a win?
Well, when there's a lot of food placed in the same area, it's not very appetizing for me because I see the end of it after the kids have gone through the line. You know? So it's a little bit of a splatter zone moment. But there was a cranberry thyme turkey ball thing that was really good with cranberry sauce on it. We actually took a picture of the ingredients. And so we were going to actually ask who made it because it was that good. And I don't know about the second one. I didn't eat any of it, to be honest. I'm not giving you good answers.
I will say this, the student potluck is also pretty chaotic in that you've got 100 people bringing whatever they want, and it's a Wednesday, so most parents are just grabbing 100 tacos from Taco Bell or whatever. It's never it's some traditional food and sometimes just hey, this is what I bought from Jack in the Box.
I literally brought French fries from Popeyes.
Yeah, I didn't
Olivia's
see
here.
the actual original layout because I was at the dessert table, which is on the other
dessert
side
table.
of the gym. But there was a kid who brought, I don't know, sometimes people have this on Sunday dinners, like chips and then shredded cheese.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, you can melt it to make nachos. I was like, thank you, kind sir.
I will say,
did not do that.
I was here.
I was like,
I was here the first year we did that, and so I don't know how we do it now, but we would
Can
assign the type of thing to bring per grade. Like,
Yeah,
hey, this
it
grade,
was
whatever. We assigned, I think, 2 whole grades rolls, and we were just drowning in rolls. I mean, we had a table full of bread, and we're like, okay, next year maybe
Yeah, we
maybe
don't
just
even-
the girls from one grade.
we
should
didn't
bring
even
this.
ask for rolls. It's
Yeah.
like side dishes, appetizers, and then meat is for parents.
We had so much.
And
bread.
then dessert and drinks. So seniors do drinks because they're like, whatever. This is
Sure.
the first time we had a bunch of drinks, actually. We usually don't have any drinks. We have to like
Well, that's
look
so
around.
good.
Water.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that.
There were like 3 cans of something random.
Bringing food, it reminds me, this is a random memory, but when I was a 3rd grade teacher, I had this little kid. I think he was from, I don't know, it was somewhere like Russia, in that area. And it was his birthday. Well, his parents, I didn't realize this until it was his birthday. And I told his parents, and they are ESL, they're learning the language that you could bring a cake on your birthday. And I meant they could bring a cake for his birthday. What I didn't realize was that this child, they would put him on a public bus in the morning. He's a 3rd grader. A public bus he would ride to be dropped off at the school in the morning. He would start really early. I don't know where they lived. I didn't know any of this until his birthday when he brought a cake, a full cake. He's like this 3rd grader and he's holding this cake, this like full blown cake that he
During the
takes
whole
on
bus ride.
public transportation and then gets on the bus and gets off the bus and walks all the way to school holding his cake. And I'm like, wow.
Was it good?
Oh, well, we couldn't serve it.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say to put a sign that says like, it's my
We're-
birthday. You know how people, it's my birthday, you give them $1. I thought it was like, give me cake. And so he's going to show up with a bunch of cakes. But
No,
like,
just that one. And I was
like,
so
that's
impressed
crazy.
with him that he was so committed to getting that cake to
Yeah.
school. I was like, we're going to celebrate this. This is amazing.
Was this at Mark Twain?
No, this was a school that I taught for
okay.
1
Little
year,
bitty.
Shadowbriar. It was
Okay.
way out west.
Oh, okay.
And that kid was adorable, but yeah, isn't that wild? The things people do for cake.
Do you miss teaching?
I miss
Like,
some
at a school?
parts of it. Yes. Yes, they're
you
definitely.
could talk to my wife and you would not miss it anymore.
You would be over that.
It's like when you think you want a new
Dream
baby and then you
crushed.
have you like hold a newborn or take care of a newborn for like
Right.
2 days. You're like, I don't ever
You're
want
like,
to do this
okay.
again.
I love to spend time with kids. I love to hear what they're thinking. I love to be actually one of my favorite things other than teaching. Like I love to be up teaching and getting them engaged in a conversation, but I really love for us to quietly be working on something together. And we're around a table and if we're working on art or a project and the things that they talk about and discuss while we're all working on a project together, I feel like that's when you really get to know them.
Yeah.
And I love that time. So
I've seen you
yes.
so many times on a Sunday morning during Kid Rally. After you'll do the lesson and the worship and whatever, it's like, okay, gym kids and craft kids. And the gym
Yes.
kids
2
leave.
different sets
My
of
son is usually in that group just
He's going
screaming
straight
chaos
to the gym.
in the gym.
Yes.
And then just this quiet little group of girls just like, weaving or, like something. Insane.
It is like hanging out.
And Jennifer is like always right there in the middle. And Jennifer's not helping anybody. She is focused on her activity. Like you're not there to support. You are there to participate.
I'm there to encourage, but I'm not going to take over your project. Anyway, so yeah, I'm so glad that went well. I'm glad it was a
was.
great event. That's
Yes.
cool, Ashley. Justin, what's going on with you these days?
Just live my best life now. I will say I have a question about something. In my adult life, and you're probably in a similar boat, and you've probably seen this come on as well, but I don't know if you're in tune with it. There has been a water bottle fad for the past 20 years.
Sure.
Where it is constantly changing.
Yes.
I mean, it started with like Nalgene bottles and then Tervis cups and then Yeti and then Stanley.
Yes.
And now there's a new bottle out. Okay. Do you know what it is?
Wait, don't tell me because I think I do know what it is. You can get it at Target. Is it not the Target one? What's it called?
Owala.
Owala. Here it
Yes.
is. So I saw people with this Owala bottle and I was like so judgmental. I was like, why can't you just stick with the water bottle you have? I know everybody has 6 water bottles at home. If we just say no,
if we just stop, capitalism will stop giving us water bottles. But we are such suckers for these new water bottles. And I was so judgmental. I was like, these people, just use your water bottle at home. Everybody's got 10. Like, why are you buying new water bottles? And so I was really, really frustrated with this water bottle fad.
Somehow in a wallet landed in your life.
So Wes, our production director, is an incredible leader at our church, and he had his Christmas party early because our AV team works all during Christmas.
You got invited to the AV Christmas
but
party?
I couldn't go because it was on Wednesday. I always get invited.
Our AV team works all the way through Christmas. Like, they're at everything. Everything y'all do, I mean, not y'all, but everything that's done, they're there. So they have a crazy December. So he did his a week ago, and I got to go and be part of it, and he gave every single one of us a Walla bottle. And listen, I'm telling you, I was so judgmental, but when I got it, my heart started racing. It lifted my spirits. There's something about a new water bottle in your life that I have been so judgmental about, but I'm like, oh, wow, this is changing my life.
You have
having
to
a little
make sure to
water bottle.
really clean it too, though. I guess that's
I do at least
the mold.
once every other week. But and he also had a whole stack of stickers for us all to choose from. He had like hundreds of stickers for people to pick whatever they want. And I got the corn kid.
It's corn
kids. But I'm just telling you that I ate my words. I was so judgmental, but then once the bottle landed in my lap, I was like, I get it.
I could have had one.
There's something about a new water. You're like, I'm going to be so healthy now.
I haven't had getting invited to these
parties.
I don't like. What's the deal?
Well, usually I decorate for him. And so for his Christmas parties, but there was a lot going on and I was doing tailgate. And so, but it's always on, but the time before, I don't know how I was able to make it, but this time it was on a Wednesday and we have our
I think he gets more participation from volunteers on a Wednesday though.
Yeah. I think that's why he,
that's so nice that you made it to the invite list. I think that's really cool.
You could have just showed up, girl.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have.
It was a great party.
Just so
I am looking for the black cherry Owala. I hear that's kind of the
black
cool.
cherry Owala. My daughter says it's called an Owala because you look like a koala when you drink out of it.
Oh.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Especially with the black canister.
So I know what a koala looks like.
Yep. Maybe so. How about that?
But anyway, so I learned that I was being judgmental for no reason. There's something special about a new water bottle. And now I'm hydrated and I'm healthy and I'm going to lose 20 pounds by Christmas. Going to drink so much water.
We're so glad.
It's going to change my life.
We're glad for you, Justin. That's really exciting.
This new water bottle will change my life.
Are we being sponsored by Owala now? Like, I haven't signed any paperwork.
It changed.
Cut that out.
It just changed my water perspective.
Trademark.
I haven't seen where we should be promoting.
Do you have a water bottle or is it just always like a styrofoam cup?
Oh. I can't keep up with the water.
Remember, she doesn't like to drink water.
I don't drink water.
She won't drink water with her vitamins, which will help it go down smoother.
I have to have food with my vitamin.
You might need to get this for your soda, though.
Okay, here's the deal. We take the kids to camp every year, and they don't have Diet Coke there. And I will take a water bottle to camp and I keep it full with ice and I use the camp lemonade. But I do have to have coffee in the morning so I don't get a caffeine headache.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of, and then we'll sneak off campus real quick to run an errand. And usually that results in a Diet Coke.
Listen, when I was a youth pastor, I had the same issue. I started bringing a cooler of my drinks. I'm just like, listen, I'm the boss. I'm bringing a cooler, keeping it by my bed with my drinks. But let me tell you, I bet
you're fun on a mission trip.
After like the third, we get there on time and we do a lot of great work on a mission trip.
I believe you.
I'm just saying at camp, I'm like, I just need this. It's going to make my life better. And by the third day, I'm like exhausted. I'm tired. I go in and all my drinks are gone. And I wanted to set that dorm on fire. I was like, who?
Were people just coming in and taking your drinks?
Yeah, some kids. Either from my church, because we were small enough where we were sharing with other churches. Like it was a big dorm or whatever. So there's no way to say who it was. But I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
So no, I don't have a water bottle, but I do get the trend. And I do like to fall into trends periodically. But yeah, I don't keep up with one very well.
So I skipped Stanley and came to this one.
So let me just move on to that. Let me just say that and then move on to my next thing. There's nothing other than my purse and my backpack that I can take with me every day and keep up with it.
This goes in your backpack. There's a side pouch for water bottles.
But you got to take that out, rinse it out, redo it, put it back.
Work.
Like I'm not a person that can keep up with a bunch of stuff to take every day to work. People who bring their same like lunch bag every day, like mad respect.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever think you'd carry a backpack as a grown adult?
Well,
I did not ever see that coming, but now I'm like, I'm going to have a backpack
does
until
it, though,
I
that
die.
works for a lot of
I will always have a backpack. I guess it's the laptop that's kind of done it to us.
It's weird that you carry a backpack. You stay in the same office. I have two offices to go back and forth.
I bring my laptop for like staff meetings and stuff.
Yeah, but you still bring a backpack. What have you got in there?
My laptop.
Obviously, you're a water bottle.
And my water
takes
bottle.
it home. So
And now I always keep a seminary book in there in case I got some time to read.
Pull that out. Ashley, do you take a backpack every day?
No, just when I go on mission trips or camp.
Listen, though, I've seen her carry just piles of things, though. You need a backpack.
Well, I carry just a work bag. I'm just carrying stuff from the building over. I'm always carrying things.
Oh, so you have like a big canvas bag?
I have a work
tote. A tote bag?
I have a work tote.
A work tote.
Okay, a tote is acceptable as well. But I didn't think about having a backpack for the rest of my life, but I will always have a backpack.
So for us lately, what's going on is Andy and I left town and we went to
the most romantic city in Texas.
Most romantic city in Texas.
To do the most romantic thing
Abilene,
2 people could do together.
The BGCT meeting. We went all the way up there. And it was, I went to one of the worship sessions and it was so inspiring, like completely inspiring. And the speaker, he, I believe that he's in charge of there's a program that we were supposed to like by, I don't know, the year, whatever, was just to hit this many believers, or it could have been the Baptist World Alliance. Maybe. That may have been the guy, but whatever. But here's what was so interesting about his speaking. It wasn't funny or clever. It was just straight, kind of repetitive and powerful. And it didn't keep your attention. I don't know how to explain it. I need to go back and watch it again.
Was he from a different country?
No, he's from
I was like, Texas. Does he know how to talk to
it's not
short attention span Americans?
No, it was like, but what I realized with my speaking, because I do speak periodically, as I realized sometimes. I haven't really connected, and I think, Ashley, you're really good about this, and I think I'm really weak about this, is giving someone a challenge. And even though nobody laughed the entire time he spoke. It wasn't funny. It wasn't. It
sounds like you didn't like it. You said that like 4 times. Nobody laughed. Nobody thought this guy was funny.
Nobody thought this guy was funny.
I didn't hear a peep out anybody. Not even a smile.
But it was like a challenge in your face. It was like, are you ready to help be part of winning the world to Jesus? Are you willing to hold on to your part to see people come to know the Lord? Are you willing to read a chapter of scripture every day? Are you willing to be the one that lets your neighbors know that you believe in Jesus? Will you share your testimony one time this year? Like, he just listed out these things that are really doable and are really manageable to meet this big goal of sharing the gospel through all the nations. And he told this one little story that I thought was really powerful. Is this woman moved into this block of people, and she went door to door and told every single one of them that she was the chaplain of the block, that she was their chaplain. And some people were like, we don't need no stinking chaplain. They're like, we don't need a chaplain. Why are you? This is weird. And at first, everybody pushed back from her. Okay, that's weird, whatever. And then after time, people started calling her and reaching out to her for prayer and advice, prayer for their kids, for their marriages.
Wow.
And she became their chaplain. And I thought, what a powerful story that she took this position in their lives and just said, hey, I'm your chaplain. I'm 2 doors down. If you need prayer, if you need to talk to someone, I'm here for you. And I just thought that was really challenging to me. I live in an area. We have about, 10 homes that are in this small area on top of the railroad tracks. That's not a problem. And I could go door to door and just say, hey, if you ever need prayer, you need to talk about something, we're next door. Come on and we'll visit.
You get a card printed up so they have your phone number.
It's like, hey, I don't want to give him my number because
you're not that invested.
Are they just going to go to your door randomly?
He was just like,
you can buy a burner phone that's just for prayer.
The kids are all into that one.
And he even said, this cannot be done through clever means. This cannot be done by being smarter or better. This has to be done by you committing to sharing your faith with the people in your life. This is how this will be done. You know who he reminds me of?
Me.
Sure. Dr. Tor.
Sounds powerful.
Dr. Tor. Dr. Tor is just like, this is the way you do it.
Can I tell you something so precious about Dr. Tor? So we're making these videos for Pathways, which is about giving and all this stuff.
Yes.
And Roger invited him to give one of these stories. And so him and his wife, they're so sweet. They're sitting here telling a story. And he gets on one of his really impassioned tangents where it wasn't a tangent. It was pertinent to the thing.
It's very
But
passionate.
he's so direct and like, this is what Christians should do. Why are you not doing it?
Yes.
He's talking about money.
And
it was so good. And he gets to the end. And he's like, elevate. He gets to the end. And he's like, But y'all are going to use that because that was really tough. It was just such a funny, so he knows that he's so.
But y'all aren't going to use
He knows he's passionate. He knows that sometimes what he's saying comes across as hard for some people to track on with, but it's so good. And I can see why you would compare those two people. Because yes, it's very similar. It's
very
no fluff. It's not about your feelings. This is the reality.
I told Andy as we were leaving, I go, this is for only old Baptists that will remember this. I said, but it reminds me of a Sunday night when the Gideons would come visit. Did you guys ever have a visit by the Gideons growing up? No. Well, the Gideons are the people that put the Bibles in all the hotels and motels.
Yeah.
There's a Bible in every one. Those are the Gideons. And they are the ones who pull together resources and provide Bibles for everyone. Well, they would always send speakers to churches on Sunday nights, and they would come and they would just tell all these stories about how people came to know Christ through the Gideon Bibles. And it was so inspiring. And you'd be like, I will do anything you want to get these Gideon Bibles out, And it felt like that. I told Andy, I was like, it's like a Gideon night on a Sunday night. It was really cool. But it was good to be at the BGCT.
Were you a messenger that voted at all?
No, I didn't get approved to be a messenger.
Did you ask your messenger for a church?
I didn't ask.
I didn't ask.
I didn't ask. I didn't go through the rigmarole of being put as a messenger.
Well, the new president is a lady.
Of the BGCT?
Yes.
I did not know that.
You were there, Jennifer.
Well,
she's a children's pastor at some church in, I don't know, Dallas or something. Yes.
I've got it.
Oh, snap.
No joke. That's
embarrassing because I was there and didn't know any of this.
We
had a lot to talk about. She's a children's
I'm sure
pastor.
they introduced her, right?
I'm sure she was up there at some point.
But anyway, I am glad you went to BGCT. I see things posted about it. In my heart, I don't want to go. But then when people post about it, I'm like, oh gosh, that sounds good. Or that sounds like that was a cool thing.
Right.
It sounds like such a boring business meeting, but it is not. And they work hard to hide the businessy parts. I don't understand. There are boring businessy parts.
Let me
Absolutely.
say this. It's great for pastors.
Listen, I was trying to hype up BGCT.
When you move into the pastor role, Justin, when you become a pastor, you'll want to go because it helps you connect. You build relationships with all of these pastors, and you create a network and you check in with each other.
I'm not going
and you come every year. Well, they have.
I know it rotates.
It's right.
I went one year. I was in McAllen, which is also terrible. It was so far away.
I went one year was in Galveston.
Oh, perfect.
I've been one year when it was, I want to say
last year was Galveston or 2 years ago because you knew people in the choir or something.
Yes, Abby Bergstrom.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
That was in Galveston.
Yeah.
Last year, I believe it was in Waco, which that's awesome because you can go to the Chip and Joanna games. You can go shopping. A lot of good
food, eat good coffee.
Good food. Abilene's okay. It's an okay town.
Too far.
I was like, Andy, I think we're to the age where we could live in a small town because I'm learning to crochet, which reminds me of what I wanted to tell you guys.
Your funny story?
There's this test. It's called the bird test, folks. And what it is this test. It's going around TikTok.
The bird theory?
The bird theory. I barely know this because I'm limited on TikTok.
I'm so glad my wife didn't
see
this. I would fail miserably.
This is called the bird theory. And the theory is what you do is you go into your spouse and you say, I saw a bird today. And the way that they respond to that gives you an indicator of if you guys are connected, if they're like,
get a divorce or something.
What kind of bird did you see? You saw a bird. Where did you see one? If they engage with you, that's a really good sign for your relationship. But if they're just ignore, they don't even hear you, or they're just and they don't engage at all.
I haven't seen any posted like that.
There's a theory that it's a bad sign.
Have you seen any posted that are fails?
No.
I only see the positive
I think I have
ones.
one. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So I come downstairs and Andy,
I'd fail too.
I've started crocheting.
I would not do well.
I'm trying to find good hobbies. And I come down and I'm just with Flynn, the dog, and I go, hey, I saw a bird. And Andy goes, what? I said, I saw a bird. I saw a bird. And Andy goes, oh, great. Another old people habit you've picked up. He goes, now you're bird watching. You've already started crochet. You worked through puzzles and now you're bird watching.
Did you record it?
No.
Jennifer.
Because I wanted to tell y'all.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, this can't be a good sign for our marriage that he's mad about bird watching. Oh, great.
He's interacting.
Now you're bird watching.
Sure, he didn't ignore you.
Which, by the way, I do think if I found a cool bird, I'd be really excited about it.
Ariana Grande talks about how she has a bird app on her phone. She was on Amy Poehler's podcast this week, and she's like, I got a bird app. They can recognize just by the sounds they make. She's like, I love it. And she's Glenda.
I think she's kind of turning into some sort of a fairy.
She's Glenda.
It's like she's becoming more and more ethereal every time I see her. It's like more.
Yes.
Did you see the video where someone just like jumped out of the crowd and tried to get a
Cindy Rebo tackled him or something?
Yes.
They're good friends.
And her little partner attacked that dude. It was funny.
That's what they're paid to do.
But then she was just like, he was just kind of trying to force a selfie.
I mean, she's a bag of twigs. She's so frail. Anyone could hurt her.
Sure,
of course she's terrified.
Of course. Of course. But anyway, all of that to say, I think the bird theory kind of failed. And
No.
Obviously.
It failed.
Well,
or is it? I think it failed because it doesn't, because your marriage isn't in trouble.
Stitch has free counseling.
Plug. He interacted.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you guys, y'all don't know this, but I'm gonna give you a little behind
Big
the
announcement.
scenes.
Oh my gosh.
No.
No.
This is a
That would be the weirdest way.
If I see Justin through the week and I want to tell him something, he's like this, puts his hand, palm in my face. He's like, leave it for the podcast. Yeah. And I think it's your way of just saying, I don't really have a lot of time to talk right now.
No,
leave it for the podcast.
Because why can't you hear it before?
Because the podcast has shifted to so much of us hanging out and not about interviews. Like, listen, Bobby Bones, he is a nationally syndicated radio host.
Dancing with the Stars.
He's incredible. He won Dancing with the Stars. Everybody hates him. I love him. I only watch Dancing with the Stars
People really
for
dislike
him. I watched that. I never watched the show before until he was on it. So I love him.
Okay.
Anyway, he has a morning show. They talk every single day and they are friends. But he is very clear. Like when you walk in the studio, do not talk to each other.
Don't
save it for air. Like because he wants everything to be
that
organic.
explains a lot. Because to me, I just felt like Justin doesn't want to listen to this.
No, I want to be surprised happily with like what you're telling me and not have to pretend that I haven't heard it.
Well,
it's about being genuine.
I haven't talked about the W word today, even though I think it's about time for me to be able to put on a sweater. That's really all I'm going to say. But we do have Thanksgiving coming up. Will this episode come out after Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay, so Thanksgiving was amazing. Actually, when we first started doing the podcast, Justin would be like, listen, Jennifer, Thanksgiving doesn't come. This comes out after Christmas. So don't talk about getting ready for Christmas. And then in my mind, I would just think, oh, we've got to talk about Christmas like it's already happened. So again, on the podcast, I was like, Christmas is amazing.
She would just start lying. She'd be like, yeah, Andy loved all his gifts. And, we had the family over. I was like, Jennifer, I didn't say, I was like, you don't have to lie about it. Just don't talk
make
about
it up. It was the wildest Christmas ever. And so now I'm always, now we don't care.
I don't care.
You really don't care now.
No. I mean, I just want to be clear that like.
Well, I do want to share this. What are your expectations for Thanksgiving as far as food? We've already talked a lot about food, but let's just one more dig into it.
Well, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Not to be like prying into your life, but like, okay. What is your plan?
I mean, ever since my Momo passed away, my great grandma, my dad doesn't like anyone's food. So a lot of times we cater or we go to like a steakhouse.
That's not bad.
So we don't really eat.
Where's he live?
College Station.
Okay.
My stepsisters, in-laws, they'll like, sometimes we'll have dinner with them, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes I stay here and dock sit. So sometimes I don't go anywhere.
Really? What motivates your decision about whether you go to be with people or decide to just like recharge at home and like enjoy some time by yourself?
I don't know how to answer that one. I think sometimes I feel, I don't know, like I don't necessarily mesh with my family sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, of course.
And so I kind of feel like maybe it's better if I just let them hang out together. And so I just kind of, and I know it's hard for people to find people to watch animals in houses during the holidays.
It's money making
week.
And
so I can just help them out and just be present. It's kind of sad sometimes, but at the same time, I get to be with the animals.
I don't think it's that uncommon, and I don't think it's sad. I think that, like my brother's the same way. He lives in New York. His Thanksgiving, he may grab dinner with some friends or something, but Thanksgiving is a holiday that you don't want to travel on because the roads, no matter where you go, are terrible. Like the planes are going to be awful. So like, I think more and more people are doing some sort of thing with that's why Friendsgiving exists is because they'll get together with their friends for a dinner. And then for the actual day, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
She's doing it on purpose. She's trying to get our attention.
I'm not.
Jennifer's over playing on her phone.
I'm not playing on my phone.
You like your hair looks pretty.
I think my hair looks really dirty.
The second me and Ashley get meaningful and deep over here, Jennifer checks out.
Okay, so meaningful and deep also means I'm not on the camera for like 2 to 3 minutes.
But you could say something.
Which I'm using it to, yeah, you're right. Sometimes you don't want to be with family. But I travel every year for Thanksgiving to go see my mom in Pensacola, Florida, and she makes she makes dressing, and it is so good. It's so good. And she knows not to put sage in it. I don't like dressing with sage.
Do you not like cilantro either?
On dressing?
No, I just mean in general.
Yeah, I love
because some people hate cilantro. I didn't know sage was a similar.
It's like soap to some people.
I didn't know if it was a similar thing.
What is the cilantro dressing? No, I don't have a problem with a little bit of sage.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with dumping it into dressing because I feel like that's the sage dish.
Yeah.
All of that to sage.
All that to sage. Did you on purpose?
Yeah.
That was great.
That's a great. I'm trying to include.
That was great.
I'm trying to incorporate more puns to widen our audience.
Yeah.
Don't you think that'll be effective?
The pun fans.
The pun fans. But this year, Andy and Olivia, the three of us are going to Austin. And we're staying in a house, and I'm really excited about it. Our cousins are letting us stay in their home, and because they're going to be gone. And here's the deal. Andy and Olivia have decided that we're doing steak and a baked potato and no dressing.
I mean, for 3 people,
y'all,
you can't make dressing in a small dish. You may have to make a pan.
Dressing.
Dressing is,
and I don't even know how to be thankful without dressing.
Why can't you make it yourself? You're a grown
Do you like
woman.
the dry or the wet or the crumbs?
Look, I've never heard you begin anything with the phrase, you're a girl.
Do whatever you want.
What'd you say?
How do you like your stuffing? Is it wet or is it dry or is it the crumbs?
It's the perfect in between. It's not too wet, but it's not dry. It's perfect. My mother's,
is it moist?
It's perfect. I'm like, Mom.
That's the word we don't want to say.
Please, Mom, please freeze me a piece for Christmas.
So is Kaylee going home by herself?
So Kaylee's going to see all of them, and we're going to Austin.
Wow.
But I love steak and I love baked potatoes. I'm very excited about that. But it just will not feel like Thanksgiving. And I've got to put cranberry sauce on something. I've got to put cranberry sauce on something.
Yourself, or that's not a thing that happens?
Of course, I don't know how to make it myself, Ashley. I barely.
What are you going to do in, God forbid, 50 years when your mom's not around?
In the year 2000.
Yeah, what are you going to do
when
you're in charge of Thanksgiving?
I think both of my sisters will be able to make dressing. I think, so
you're really depending on
if I'm going to make a dressing, which I have sort of low key considered, but Andy already made it clear. He said, this is Thanksgiving. I don't want you cooking. Like you don't feel like you have to bring anything to the table. I think I'm there for entertainment.
That's a nice
and
way of saying I don't want to eat the thing you make.
I don't want to eat anything.
Don't step foot in that kitchen, girl. Just sit back, relax.
It's a very nice way to say.
I don't know what you think you might want to do, but we're not doing that.
No, thanks.
Because I would probably get a rotisserie chicken and just stick it in with some, it's cornbread, right? It's just like a cornbread mixture with some sliced celery and some green peppers.
I have a recipe I could give you.
You could chop it all up and throw in a can of mushroom
momos,
soup.
but then I realized she had some really weird things in there. So like gizzards and stuff.
Yeah. That's very Mississippi.
I didn't even realize that was what you put.
They are always
so good.
We put in stale crusts from white bread.
Yeah.
There's like weird things like that.
Yeah, it's like the mystery
the dressing.
pot of bread stuff.
It's so
and
true.
It tastes so good together.
But cornbread. It was a cornbread dressing. That's what they would make. But I'm just like, not that we need to take any more of the podcast up with this. And and I want to be thankful next year. This next week we'll work together. Last week I want to be thankful. I wanted to be thankful last week when we were celebrating with no cranberries. And I have to have the jarred cranberry. I have to hear it.
I have not heard anybody disagree with you on that.
I can do the sound of it coming out of the can.
Oh, I don't do that.
I think I just...
Everybody stopped watching. Thanks,
they go, that sound is...
They were like...
my tune.
They were like, this is... We're done.
That's the moment.
That was it. They were like,
that was the end of our entire show. It makes us sound like...
God.
I'm trying to get it. Anyway, so moving on to our next topic.
I want to share something that God continues... Okay. When you're going to seminary,
I'm kind of low key worried when you.
I'm just telling you
we're gonna move on in.
I am feeling closer to God than I ever have in the past year or so, maybe more, because I'm going to school to be a Christian. Like you get graded on spiritual practices.
I think that's amazing.
So it's great, and
your cheeks are redder than usual. And I think it's the Holy Spirit.
Because it's hot in here.
It's really warm in here.
I wanted to share something that God is teaching me. Or I like to come with something that I've learned at seminary. And the other day, I'm getting weary of Greek. My professor, if he's watching, he's very kind. He does chase rabbits a little bit, And they're rabbits that I don't care about. Other people think it's so cool. I mean, they're like deep theological Greek stuff and they're like nerds about it. Like, yeah, this is awesome. And I just kind of like go back to my workbook and start trying to do my homework.
Sure.
Because I'm like, oh,
like this one be on the test.
But he got on a tangent that was actually interesting to me. And I think y'all as seminary trained people already have heard this, but it was news to me. It kind of enlightened me about why Greek is important. People will ask me that. Like, why do pastors need Greek? The internet, there's a million translations. Like, it's already been done for you. What's the point in going back to the Greek?
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just know I have to do it to get a piece of paper. But he was talking about how after Jesus resurrected and they were on the beach and he asked Peter, do you love me? He asked him 3 times.
Right.
And when Jesus said, do you love me? He used the word agape, which is sacrificial, I would die for you love. And Peter says, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And when he said love, he would use phileo, brotherly. We're friends. And Jesus would say again, Peter, do you agape love me? It's like, yes, Jesus, you know I phileo love you. Like the dynamic there is so hidden without the translation that like Jesus was saying, are you ready to die for me, essentially? Yeah. And Peter was like, I love you as a friend. I'm not quite ready for that.
Wow, I've not heard that before.
And then Jesus, I need to look it up, but I think the last time Jesus asked, he says, do you phileo me? Do you love me like a brother? And Peter says, yes. And it says Peter was hurt that Jesus asked a 3rd time, do you like he saw Jesus almost like bring it down a notch and say, okay, I see where you're at. You're not ready to die for me yet. And like, so the hurt wasn't, why did Jesus ask me 3 times? He heard me say it. The hurt was, Jesus knows that I'm not ready to give my life for him. That sort of thing. Like, I
haven't heard that.
And so like, not every verse is going to be like that, but if you don't go and look at what it says in the Greek, you might miss something like that. And so that was a really powerful moment. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I get why I need. So like today during my quiet time, I like tried to translate 1 verse just to see if I could do it. Like I'm trying to like incorporate it so that it's part of my devotional. But it was such an eye-opening. I'm like, okay, that's one of the reasons why it's important. Ashley, had you heard that before? Yeah, she's a Greek scholar. She knows. She could. Yeah.
I didn't take Greek. I took church recreation in the place of Greek. So if you want to know how to lead people to Jesus using playing flag football, I can do that.
That's what I say about my Master of Youth Ministry. I say, well, we learned about how to host a lock-in.
Yeah.
We learned the formula for how much pizza to order for 50 kids.
Yep.
I do have a math formula for that.
Did you have a lock-in here?
No, we never did it. That was a joke.
Lock-ins have become very unpopular.
Yeah. I would never do a lock-in.
They're the worst. I've done lock-ins. They're awful.
I was an intern and my pastor let me said the one thing I would tell you is like, do not ever do a lock-in.
Don't open the door to the lock-ins.
He's like, don't ever do that.
4 a.m. Everybody's walking around like a zombie, just like, oh, how is this happening?
They're
last
gone.
church we did lock-ins.
What? How'd they go?
I remember there was like some. Well, I mean, it's a lot of fun. We had it like each certain hour there was something planned. And it was a lot of fun and the kids get so high, but of course you're just like you're just a zombie. I remember at one point there was like somebody that looked like a grown man that we'd never seen before and we just both watched them walk by and we're like, how did he get in here? But then it was just a kid and we found out, but we're not at the state
you're kind of in a totally,
you're
just like,
how did he get in here? We're like freaking out, but we're also very slow.
And the lights seem like really weird. Everything gets weird at 4 a.m.
But we had like a Darth Vader thing where you had to conquer, like it was like the scavenger hunt at the end. You had to conquer Darth Vader in our room with red lights, and you and you had to like put your like whatever that is a lightsaber together, and then try to find a flashlight, and then you had to take them on. It was very.
I mean, without a doubt, they're fun for the kids. No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I loved it, but I know that I'm kind of wild.
We would do a lock-in, and she'd be like, "Girls, you can do that lock-in, but you're getting up by 9."
Wow.
And we would get delivered home at 6, and we would be up at 9, and it was pretty. It was tragic. So that's really cool. But you're doing your quiet time. You're working on
just trying to like go back to the original Greek for 1 verse. So I'll read a chapter. I just started like today, so I'm not like a super Christian. But I was like, well, let me just find 1 verse and see if I can see what it looks like in the Greek and see if I could translate it. I've already failed. I couldn't translate the whole sentence because I don't know all my verb tenses yet. But it was still like, okay, like I can kind of see. But you can also see like this word's not in here. Like the word he put like in the translation I had to use the word news somewhere. And I'm like, that is not here. It was a verse in Romans where he's like, the whole world has heard news of your faith or something. I was like, the word news is not here. Like, it's not. They put it in there to kind of like
make it make sense.
To make it make sense.
Yes.
Yes.
But so that's interesting too. But
Yeah.
anyway, so God's
Well,
open
I
minded
really
about why
love
Greek's
that.
important a little bit. So
We've been taught, because I haven't heard that lesson, is that for every time that Peter denied Jesus, that Jesus came back and said, "Do you love me?" And
I mean, that could be true
matched
too.
up. Sure,
yeah, they're not
sure.
mutually exclusive.
But I like that Jesus is giving him the doorway to say, kind of like to work back and fix it in a way.
Right. And then someone told me this week, I was telling someone about that. One of our AV people is really, really sharp and really into like theology. And he said he'd heard it put that like it was actually good because that was the first time Peter was honest.
Yeah.
Because Peter has been like, I would die for you, Jesus. I would, like, he was such like this like bravado about Christ.
He really was.
And in that moment, he was actually honest and said, hey, I'm not there. Like, I'm not able to die for you.
This is scary.
Now. Yeah, this is scary.
This is hard.
And so even that is a credit to Peter. So it's not a failure of Peter. It was Peter finally being honest with himself and with Jesus, like, hey, this is where I'm at. And so Jesus was like, I can work with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a victory all around, but it sounds like a pretty weird moment. You wouldn't know that if you didn't go back to the original Greek.
If you weren't taking Greek. Yeah.
And it's also annoying that the translators didn't they could have put a note in there. I've never seen that in any of my study Bibles.
Andy and I were talking about the idea of sacrifice now in the current church. Like, how are we discussing that? What are we talking about? Giving sacrificially or living sacrificially? I think sometimes we sort of shy away from that. Sometimes it's a little awkward to know how to manage that in a life where Jesus has paid it all. What does sacrificially look like in a life where you know that your sins have been forgiven, that you have eternity with Jesus, and you don't need to earn more than what does sacrifice mean? And so we were just having that conversation about how it's so important to lay down your life for Jesus, to follow him, to sacrifice, things that you think are important, to trust him with, things that you find that are valuable, but they are getting in the way of your relationship with Jesus, to sacrifice those in order to put him first, in order to continue to spend time with him, to worship him. So we were talking about that sacrifice piece this last week. What do you guys think that looks like in a post, resurrected world?
Well,
Post-resurrected or pre-resurrected? Post-Jesus resurrection, pre-our resurrection.
I guess it's pre-resurrection, post-ascension, pre-resurrection. Yeah. Post-ascension. How about that?
What do you think sacrifice looks like?
Well, the thing that's so hard is that, like, as Christians, like, we're called to do that on a daily, right? Die to flesh, die to self. And it matters because people are watching you and you're a testament to Jesus. And it's such disheartening that we don't know what sacrifice looks like daily, right? Because we live in what the culture says is routine and what's normal. And that's like your comfort and like people approving you and all these different things. And so it's like, for me, it's like I have to, when I want something for myself, I have to like catch myself and my intentions with everything I'm doing and humble myself too. Even sometimes if you think it's glorifying God, if you're glorifying yourself, you have to like be careful in what you do and how you interact with people. And so for me, it's even just like my thoughts, because I think thoughts can be dangerous and can lead you down taking action. Sure. And so sometimes I just have to even start at the root, because sometimes you're just like entertaining yourself because you're bored or you're lonely or all these different things. And I think it's just like, first off, with your own heart, like meeting with the Lord. And like, we talked about this, I think last time too, like wherever you're at in that sin, giving it to God and having like an open conversation with God. And that means like when you're getting too comfortable, do something actively for God that's uncomfortable. Even what that guy said, like sharing the gospel with somebody that you interact with, and it's like funny because we get in so much daily routine of self-fulfillment. And I think it's even like dissecting that, like the comfort of your coffee every day in the morning, you know what I mean? Like just different things that you're doing for yourself. And it's making you not focus on other people, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. I think that's really good.
So daily dying to flesh, but like, what does that actively look like? That means like doing stuff for the Lord versus yourself. And it's like even teaching the kids that. It's so hard because I think people are like, because we had one girl, she's like, well, if Jesus already died for us, like, why is sin so bad? Like he covers it.
That's a good question.
And you're like, oh, well, okay. Like trying to figure out like, well, if you're in a relationship with the Lord and you love him, why would you choose to do something that separates yourself from him?
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to be with him, you know, and if you want to point other people towards him, right? Like it's like if you had that kind of relationship with a friend and you're constantly going against them and disrespecting them and doing stuff that that hurts them, what kind of friendship would that be?
Yeah.
And so it's just like having people remind you daily, like living for the Lord and not yourself and stuff like that.
I think that's really good.
That's great. You're smarter than me.
I think that is how to truly find
Sacrifice.
In Christ who we are. Like that's our ultimate identity. And I do think it's interesting that you said every day we're working on self-actualization. We're every day kind of figuring out what we want our life to look like every day. And, I'm wanting to get this. I want to get this in place. I want to hit this goal. I need to make this happen. And how often are we turning that over to the Lord, saying, Lord, how do you want to use this day? How do you want to use me in this day? Rather than as part of my day, I'm going to spend time with the Lord. It is, Lord, what do you want to do with my day? Please let me complete your tasks for me today. And a lot of times we're a lot more like that on mission trip because we get to live with such great intention and all of our life is stopped so we can live for God on a mission trip. I always found myself like witnessing to people really easily on mission trip. It was just crazy. You getting into believing conversations all the time. Right. But when you were home, you weren't because, now I'm in my real schedule. Now I'm in my real life. But anyway, I think that's a really good input is just looking at your day as a blank slate to give to God. How Lord, and of course, obviously you're going to pick up your kids on time. You're going to attend to your job. But I just think that there are a lot of assignments that God would let us in on if we gave him our day.
Yeah, because a lot of times we don't like interruptions, but those are some of the moments that you can like have a life-changing moment with someone you interact with and you don't even realize it. Like the way that people came to Jesus all the time and he would stop and look at them and interact with them, even if he had a bigger goal in
He would
mind,
really see them.
He would see them. And I think with our daily life, like we get so focused on getting things done and we want things to happen. We don't like interruptions and we don't like our plan to go, south, north, whatever the right term is, because it just is not what you wanted.
Right.
But like, what does God want? Like, like the train's in my way or I'm late or I spilled this or I'm at a coffee shop and it's taking 20 minutes to get my coffee. There's people that are like thirsty for the Lord that want to know him.
I do think too, this is not a complicated thought. It's just a little wordy. So let me say this. I think in our life, we are big picture always trying to work towards what God wants us to be and who we are. I think kind of big picture, not granularly, not on a granular level, but on a bigger level. It's like, I want to be a good parent. I want to meet the needs of my family. I want to make sure to use my time wisely at my work. I want to honor God with the way that I work. And it's these kind of things that we live out. And then we set our goals based on those things. But the living in the moment in a moment of being obedient to Jesus sometimes is more difficult for us. So it's like we feel like we're doing all the right things, but there's sometimes moment by moment where we're not being obedient, where we need to speak into someone's life, where we need to stop and connect with someone that we had no intention of being around. And I think you're right. It's people. It's being able to really pour into people. And I think if that's not on the list or if that's not part of what we need to do, we don't take the time with it.
Yeah.
And some people, I believe, do take the time with it. They will really stop down their day and really check on you and see, how are you doing? How can I be here for you?
And I think people crave just like, obviously, like acknowledgement and just like noticing them and just having conversations, because sometimes people in their everyday life, they don't have people that notice them or have any interaction with them at all. Especially like even service people, when you just interact with them and have the same conversation over and over again. Because I usually try to like be very specific and talk to them and just like get to know them and know their name. And so I've built friendships at random places like Chipotle or Starbucks where I try to get to know them, and I just feel like it's like, it matters the interactions you would meet with people, they're made in God's image and you can like, they can like see Jesus in you and you can like share your story and help people, when they feel like they're drowning.
That just came out. I think that's an excellent point. There's a book that came out. I've got to find it, where they were talking about how when you go out into the world every day, how we can change the world by doing one small kind thing in the encounters that we have with everybody throughout our day. So if you go into, I don't know, Walgreens and you're shopping and you get to the person who's checking out and you're like, hey, thanks for taking my number to get my points on my card. And you're like, hey, what time do you get out of here tonight? Oh, that may be that seems like a pickup line, but whatever. And they're like, I work till 10. Like and then say something like, man, I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope I don't know, something more blessing, like, wow, you really helped me out. Like, thank you, or something really genuine, because it's so much push and play. Just like, here you go. I'll have 2 of these and here's my card. Thank you so much. See you later. But we don't genuinely interact. It's not like, it's like we send our avatar in. Yeah. It's like we're dealing with each other's avatars. Is that weird?
No.
And so I think to wake us up and to really be in a moment and they say that if everybody was doing that intentionally every day, that it would really change what our days are like. It would change what our everyday life was like. I would like to say that Texas is really good about this, actually. Yeah. And I have really cool encounters with people all the time because people are much more willing to jump into a conversation, even if it's about something.
Yeah.
Like the weather. There, that's it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about the weather.
Yeah. And I think just praying and just, okay, God, like, who do you want me to talk to? Kind of just like being, when you're in sync with the Lord and you're like constantly talking to him and like, obviously thanking him and honoring him and respect and ode to him. But also, what do you want from me? Like in these moments? Because I mean, there's a Chipotle on Main Street and I've become, I haven't been in a long time. I'm sorry if you're watching. I don't know what just, but I've become friends with them and they used to always call me Queen Ashley. And they're like, our girl's here, Queen Ashley. And they'd all just like erupt. And I would just like go in there and just like talk to them and just like friendship. And it's just like sweet. And sometimes, like they'll come up to me and they'll just give me a hug and like, I need to see your face. Like the joy you bring. Like I was thinking about some pretty bad negative thoughts that I want to do to myself today, and I saw you. And like, yeah, like pretty dark.
Look at you, your mission on the Chipotle.
I saw it, and then it's just, I don't know, it just like matters. And there's a guy at Walgreens because I'll go late at night to get True Fruit. I love True Fruit, dark covered chocolate berries. What do I get? Anyways, okay, cranberries.
Is it frozen?
Yes. There's 2 different kinds. There's the frozen kind that's chocolate covered. You can get blueberries, cherries, strawberries, raspberries is the one I love.
Ooh, raspberries. Ooh, yes.
So good. I don't know. I'm addicted. And so Walgreens is always late and they also always have them. So I go in there and there's like a guy and I'll randomly say hi to him. And then after going in there so many times, he's like, hey, I have a question. And he just started opening up about his ex-girlfriend and he doesn't know what to do. And he wants hope. And he's like, feeling a dark place. And he's like, doesn't know what to do with his life. And I was like, hey, like we have a church. We have 3 different campuses. If you want to join us, like you just need people, man. You need people that love you.
The third time you're buying True Fruit, you're talking to this dude and giving him life advice.
I mean, I think he's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the Lord just uses moments.
Which God's using you in these moments.
Sweet too, because I sometimes see like, oh, my stage of life and I'm not married and I don't have kids. And I think like, well, God's letting me do little gifts, like having and meeting people just in interactions that I might not have.
But isn't that, it gives your life, I mean, it really does give your life this, it adds to the meaning of your life. And you feel like you're really in contact. I was driving and I may have told this story, but it was raining. And this woman was stuck on the other side of the train, and it's raining and she can't get across the train. I think the train was stuck and she's on this side and God is like, go pick her up. And I'm like, Lord, you know that we have rules and boundaries in our picking up strategy. I do not pick up strangers and put them in my car. It is like 1979, 101. We do not do that. And God's like, go pick her up. And I picked her up and I said, hi, I just want to give you a ride to the other side of the railroad track. And she goes, thank you so much. I don't have a car. I'm trying to get one. It's just been a hard time. And then she started to open it up I've just picked her up to take her to the other side of the train track. And she just opens up about her life and how things are going hard. And I was like, man, can I just pray for you? Like, I go, this is the best advice I have to offer. And, just like God had me come pick you up. He is engaged in your life. He cares about what's happening to you. I was like, I don't pick up anybody. That'll be $50. And so
oh my gosh.
She left and it was just this really cool. And it's not like you're like, you're welcome, God. Glad I could help you out. It's more like, thank you, God, that I got to be part of a moment that you created. Like, thank you so much. I feel so honored to get to be used in this moment. And if we push through some awkwardness or make space for it, then it's so like amazing once you're just like, what? God was really good in this moment. Yeah. So I think it's cool that I'm going to have to go with you to Walgreens. And
what time do you go to Walgreens?
Pick out some True Fruit.
Oh, I'm asleep by then.
p.m.
11
Did you
p.m.
say, 11? That's like, that's later.
That's definitely an
It's
unmarried.
it's when everything else is closed because I can't get your
That
food.
is a later
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And praying for protection because similar story, my friend, when we were going through seminary, he picked up a guy and he was talking to him and he could tell the guy's on edge. And, he's like, Lord, like, I know you called me to do this, but this is feeling sketchy. And so I don't know what to do about this.
feels like
So
a
he's
bad thing to
he's
write in
like,
my
yeah,
journal.
he's kind of like, and then I think he started opening, I work at a church. And he's like, oh, you're a pastor. So you work with the Lord. And he's like, yeah. And then he I like to serve people. And he starts opening up about his heart. He's like, actually, can you pull over there and just like let me out? And he goes, are you sure? You don't want me to? He's like, no, I'm cool. So he like drops him off. And then he later saw the guy on the news and he was like pulling people, burgling them, robbing them, I guess.
What?
And they were like, he was like robbing people, like go to this place and there was a setup to rob the car or whatever it is.
What?
So then he was like, whoa, Lord, thank you,
Lord.
People are broken and they're hurting and they're doing what they can to survive. But like God intervenes even when you're scared, even if you don't know what you're doing.
That's cool.
But I was also
that's
like,
terrifying.
And that's
Ooh.
also like,
Yes. Wow. Well, this has been cool to really talk about this meaningful stuff. It kind of feels weird to transition into a get to know you question.
I've got one that is vaguely spiritual.
Get to know you question?
Yeah, so it's not as hard of a shift.
All right,
as
let's do it.
is. I don't know what your understanding of eternity is. Like, some people think that they read Revelation or whatever, and they think, oh, we're just around the throne singing holy, holy, holy for the rest of forever. Sure. I don't think that's what it is. And I couldn't articulate why. I think we're going to be working. We're going to be doing things. I think we're going to, when God recreates the new heaven and new earth, I think there's going to be stuff going on. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you disagree or not. Do you disagree?
No.
Okay. So I think in the new heaven and new earth, when God recreates everything, we still have like things to do and places to go and things to enjoy. And that obviously God will be intertwined in all of that. I also think we're going to have roles to play. I think we're going to be doing things. I don't know if they're going to be called jobs or whatever, but I think we'll have tasks. And so what things, tasks, jobs, roles do you hope to explore in eternity? And here's what I mean by that. I think mountains will exist. And I've never summited a mountain. But I can spend 500 years of eternity training, getting ready, figuring out, learning about all the climbing things. And then I could like scale whatever the tallest peak is and like give God glory on the top of the mountain. Like, what are the things that when we have eternity to explore and do, are you excited to explore and do? Some people will look at like books. Like, I want to read every book I've ever written. I want to study. I want to learn more about God. I want to read, I'm going to be in the library and that's all I'm going to do. Like, my uncle's like that. All he's going to do is read for like the first 1,000 years. And so what are the tasks, things, activities, jobs that you think you might explore in eternity?
I think I'm going to join a Bible study about the purpose-driven church. I'm kidding.
How do we grow our church?
What was the secret behind growing the church? What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
I'm going to go to Black Bees Bible study. That I've never thought about it that way. And I've never thought about it that way. I need some time to think. Ashley, I know we're both like,
I love questions so much.
Too
my
deep.
Favorite.
I'm sorry I went too deep.
I just
you.
like don't have.
I don't think it's so much deep as it's just like, we don't have any interest.
It's almost like,
because here you are with your glorified body.
I'm
and if that's the
animals.
case, I mean, obviously snow skiing, but it doesn't seem like a real eternal.
We have eternity to do whatever we want with God and with the people of God.
I mean, will the streets of gold have slopes? I don't know.
But it could be, I want to visit with everyone from my entire line of ancestry that's in heaven. Like,
that's
I want to go
another
person
great
by
idea.
person.
Yeah,
that's in heaven.
feel
Sorry.
like
Sorry, some of you. But you go person by person. I want to hear your
I
entire
get off
life
at 8
story.
tonight
Yeah.
from my job.
There will be animals. Like, that's what I'm saying. You can do
I mean,
things like
I
that.
just don't know what that means.
All dogs go to heaven. I think this has kind of stumped me a little bit. I think whatever I do, it'll need to be relational.
Yeah.
It'll be with people, and it'll be, I mean, what would I really like to do? Is it recreation? Will there be children there? Will I be working with kids? Will I be leading KP knows? in heaven? What will that look like? I don't know. Ashley,
no tear. I literally don't have an answer. I mean, I guess I like animals, so
I do think
dabble in that.
One
Train
night,
dogs.
I may have told you this already. I went to bed and I was like, what does God do? Like, God, what do you do? Like, what do you spend your time doing? Is all your focus this earth? Is all of your focus what we're doing? But you're the great creator. What are you doing? And I just went to bed on that question. What are you doing? And when I woke up, the answer, it's really weird because I don't usually wake up thinking about what I went to bed thinking about. And the answer was, I'm still creating.
Yeah.
And it was very simple. I'm still creating. And I would love to see all that God's created. I would love to be in a space to see everything that he's created. I mean, just through the galaxies, through the all of the things in space that we haven't seen or don't know about.
Right.
I would love to be on a tour bus for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one thing I would really like to see.
That's the type of thing I want us all to think about. That answer is great. This idea of like, it's not just gonna be this world, it's the new heavens and earth. Like what does he have?
But
for
I
us
don't
out
want
there?
to come back and have lost 70 years.
Why? It's
on
eternity.
the planet. Well, not if
we're not
if it's a
aging.
1,000-year reign. That's 78 of my 1,000 years.
But then eternity is
road.
coming at some point.
I know.
I'm talking about the eternal part.
The eternal part, yes. I feel like there will be that option to see everything that God's created.
Yeah.
And to see it. We were driving to Abilene. Y'all, let me just say, and I know I've said this before on the show many times, we don't get to see stars here in Houston. It is like one of the saddest things when you look up in the sky, it's not filled with stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a light haze from a car dealership that's 3 miles away. So we were in the middle of nowhere in West Texas, and I looked up and the stars were filled. The sky was
stars
filled
at
with
night
stars.
were big and bright.
Yeah, deep in the heart. I just was like, man, that's one of the downsides of Houston is you don't get this full sky of stars. But to be able to see that, to see those things, I think would be really exciting.
That's awesome.
Anyway, well, it's been so good to visit with you guys today.
Can't wait to hear how great Thanksgiving was.
I started in such a bad mood too. Like after you spill your drink, you're just like, forget it today.
Yeah.
Forget it. And I finished what's left. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Well, I've got mine now.
Yep. What's Ashley drinking? Ashley's got water.
Plastic.
When you go into Starbucks, do they call you non-pumps? You come in and they're like,
No, they don't see me like that. They just say Ashley. They say my name.
They don't see
And they all, and sometimes there's a guy that gives me a heart. But
Is
also
it the one right here on
they don't
like
see me
Stalling?
just by my
Maryland.
pumps.
Oh, okay.
actually, there's a girl I do know that was at Maryland. That's my go-to. That switched over to Starlink. But they also know I'm under Patrick, my friend Patrick. I go with him too, but my name's
cool.
Ashley. But they'll know it's my drink. Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
they'll know your drink.
Yes,
All
they
right,
respect
guys.
me.
Well, thank you. Thank
That's my name,
you.
Pumps.
Yeah.
She can't stop talking about these nice ones. I will.
Do they call you
before we say
non-
goodbye-
It's so
Before we
good.
say
You know
goodbye,
what?
can I just? We'll go.
What I should do, well, it's hard because you need to get it in the morning. I need to get y'all my drink for Starbucks on a morning and you can taste it and
Okay.
tell me what you think.
I would love to do that, but
It's so good.
I want to say this about you're talking about befriending people at stores.
Mhm.
If you are a regular at a restaurant and you befriend people, they treat you so well, and
They
they
do.
will give you things sometimes.
Chipotle, they would give
and-
me free stuff a lot.
I know. Yeah, I'm not saying
I was
be.
like, I don't want to.
I'm not saying be
like
nice.
it's
Buy it online.
poorly for
and then
you. I
they're
feel
like,
like
actually, you
somebody's
don't have to
gonna
buy it online.
I'm not saying
Free
be nice to
topping in
get
the
free
front.
stuff, but I am saying that if you have a restaurant you go to regularly and you're nice to people,
You get a little treat here and there.
they'll take care of you.
I would like to take this time to say that we are sponsored by Chipotle,
Sponsored by
specifically their
nothing.
guacamole.
not Owala
It is the
either.
best.
Owala.
Awala,
Yeah.
Chipotle, all of the brands that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for
Unbranded.
joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network based in Houston, Texas. CityRise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.